That's what's up. That's what's up. Vel plays, my man. I appreciate that. Sanctuary seeker in the building. Who else is in that? Take my. Hey, how you guys doing tonight, man? This is gonna be a little quick live, bro, man. I just had to come in here and rap with you guys tonight, man, because I gotta tell you guys the truth, bro. I gotta tell you, bro, why semen retention, bro, equals Superman, man. Superman, bro. Things that other people ain't doing in the world, bro. It's a reason why this is a 1% practice, bro, because semen retention equals Superman. Let's go.
I have the power! You are now listening to B-Town Beats.
Yo, what up, fellas? What up, fellas? How's all my retained gang doing tonight, bro? I said, how all my retained gang doing tonight, bro? Hey, listen, man, it's your man here, the Shave Line King, bro, and I feel amazing tonight, bro. I feel so good here, man, that I had to come here and share with y'all, bro. I done put it together, bro. I done whipped up the recipe, bro. I done created what I like to call supermen on semen retention. You guys must understand, bro. Everything that I'm about to say here is 100% logical. Everything that I'm about to say here is all facts. And it proves the point why only the 1% in this world are benefiting and gaining these super gifts and becoming supermen. Let me tell you guys something, man. Most of you guys in this world have no clue what it's like to retain their seed for 90 days. Most of the men in this world have been, unfortunately, lied to, had their gold coins stolen from them, to the point where they will never understand on what it's like to have full balls. You see, we live in a very sick, disgusting world and society where pornographic material is all over the internet, all over the TV, it's all over our cell phones. We can't get away, bro, from all of the sexual imagery. And because of that reason, we've fallen into this trap. The lust trap is what I like to call it. And most of the people out here seem to not be able to go a day without satisfying their urges or their needs. And because of this fact, most men out here are deprived of what it's truly like to be walking around a real masculine man. I told you guys, if they're not practicing semen retention and they have not gone on streaks of 90 days or more, then they're not real men. And the reason why that is because they are men without their superpowers. Okay, you got to understand, I'm talking about supermen here versus regular men. And this is why I tell you, most people have no idea what it's like to be a real man. You see, when you're a real man, your seed regenerates your body. Okay, it gives you all the confidence that you need. It enhances your look. Okay, it gets your mind nice and sharp. You become a truly authentic person. And wherever you go, people are going to love you or hate you. There's no in between. And I want you to understand this. There is no in between. They're either going to love you or hate you for what it is that you bring. And I told you, there's only two groups of people down here on this world. There's only two bloodlines down here on this world, okay? One of the Most High and one of the fallen. So you can understand why people are going to love you or going to hate you. But nevertheless the fact is, they're not going to be in between. And this is what sets us apart from regular men. You see, regular men have lost their confidence. They've lost their sense of self. They've lost touch with themselves. They have no idea what it's like to have confidence, to be masculine, to be positive, to be uplifting, to be loving, because they've lost that side of them in releasing this energy up out of their body. And this is why most men are walking around here in these up and down depression-like haterator, okay? Haterator. This is what they are, haterators, okay? They come in and they bombard channels. They find you in the public and they display that they have a lack of energy. Okay, this is all from releasing your sexual life force energy. This is why these people are not real men. These people out here who are not taking this journey seriously are not real men. They're missing so many parts and faculties to their self. Okay, and this creates and shapes your aura and your character. And most of the men out here are jealous. Most of the men out here are in competition with everybody. Most of the men out here are unauthentic, whether that's using money to try to, fill in some holes for some insecurities, or they're getting on the steroids, okay, or they're out here, passing the women around because they think that that's what makes them a masculine man, which in fact, that is actually what's robbing them, okay, of everything that makes them masculine. And we have this society where everybody thinks that this is okay. Everybody out here is accepting this lifestyle. Okay. And what you see, all right, is a creation of what I like to call, degenerate men. All right. This is the facts. This is what society has came to. Okay. Most of the men out here do not understand what it's like to have a full sack. Okay. They don't understand what it's like to go out here, bro, and be able to retain for 90 days. Let me tell you guys something. When a man decides to take this journey seriously, there are some remarkable changes that happen, okay? And it starts out with you and your self-confidence. You become one of these people who just walk out in the public, be able to create off the whim, be able to walk up to people, okay, give people compliments, okay, thus creating new avenues, new connections, okay, new relationships from once things that you would have not done when your seed has not been retained. You see, when our seed is not retained, we just don't care. We just don't care. We lose respect, okay? We get irritable. We get tired. We get weak. There are so many different things that happens to a man when his balls are empty. But you guys must understand, this practice is not only going to help you in an area like that. What also it's going to do is going to regenerate your whole body. When I talk about anti-aging, when I talk about immortality, when I talk about these things, I'm talking about things that are reversing the condition that you're in right now, the state that you're in right now, okay? And turning back the clock, all right? Turning back the clock on your youth, turning back the clock on your mind, turning back the clock, period. This is what semen retention does. This is the regeneration that takes place inside your body over these long streaks. And this is why it's imperative. This is why it makes you a superman. It takes your body that once was in the need of precious vitamin minerals that your body is depleting out of that organ, okay? You guys know that these minerals that come from this organ, okay, it takes the body a tremendous amount of energy to create this energy, to use it to try to create a child. And when we're doing this to the level and the degree that we're doing it, what ends up happening is we end up really stunting ourselves. Okay. This is when we start aging faster. Okay. This is when we start graying faster. I want you guys to understand This is something that we must practice. This is something that is going to separate us from the rest of the men. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play a quick little clip. Okay. And basically what this is going to do is this is going to give you the science. This is going to give you the breakdown, okay, of exactly what it is that I've been talking about, this regeneration. Okay. Because this is what sets us apart from other men. This is why people are looked upon as leaders. This is why you attract so much negative energy. I want you guys to understand this is something that the Christ beings have been doing since the beginning of time. And you could see why they were such an influence over society. You can see why people followed them and they led properly, because this is what keeps you in alignment, okay, spiritually and with the Most High. It keeps you in the highest frequency, okay? We talked about vibrating at a certain frequency and keeping your frequency high, and this is how you do it. This is the cheat code, ladies and gentlemen. This is the shortcut. This will shorten your spiritual journey in half if you can just focus long enough, okay, and do consistent streaks where you're building up this mana, okay, and this energy finally starts to raise up your spine, okay, and you cross that cross right there on the top of your chest, bro, and on into your head and up into your brain, and this process takes place. You become a new man. You become resurrected from the dead, because you've raised your energy from your lower chakras on up to your higher chakras. That's the symbology, okay, of retaining your seed. And this is why it's super important. So give me 1 second, you guys, and I'm going to play this clip for you.
Is an analogy for semen. There's a difference between regular sperm and mature sperm, and it takes 72 days for your sperm to mature. And you can look up 72 in gematria and find out that it means Christ. Jesus represents sperm. That's why the manna reference, when he gives the people the manna, he says, I am the manna. And the manna keeps coming out of nowhere. It's replenishing because the manna was mature. It's the mitotic division of these that produce two types of cells. Type A cells replenish the stem cells, and type B cells differentiate into primary spermicides. So the process starts over. I know that once these sperm cells are mature, they continually multiply and reproduce, creating new stem cells. I'm never releasing again. This would be one.
So there was the logical explanation. There was the science behind exactly what it is I've been telling you guys. This is what makes us supermen. This is what sets us apart from the rest of the men in society. When I tell you guys that most of the men out here in this world, when I say 99%, I don't think you guys are grasping on how many people are actually the 99%. When I tell you that 99% of the men on this area where we live have not experienced this, they do not understand what it's like to be in their full power. They have no idea what it's like to self-generate of this energy in their body. They don't understand what that's like. Instead, what they're out here doing, they're out here further putting themselves in a hole, okay? Becoming more depressed, losing themselves daily. I see so many men walking around in depression. I see so many men that do not have the confidence, okay? Men should be walking around here in their highest vibrations, in their energy with the glow, okay? Flat out, point blank, period. This is how men should be walking around. And society has done a great job of draining men's glow, because I tell you, more men walk around depressed than I've ever seen today in my life. I have more guys coming to me with more depressing news, telling me about depressing stuff, bro, instead about all the positive things in their life. Okay. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. And the main culprit to this whole situation is these guys are out there watching it on the hub. They're out there self-pleasing themselves. They're out there releasing their energy, bro. Okay. And this is why they will never be able to experience this type of power, this type of energy. When I tell you guys that everything that I've been telling you I've been experiencing. I have some most amazing gifts right now. I've been doing some most craziest things. I have real deal manifestation powers. I have a way to create. I have these abilities. My age, the way that I look, my muscle mass, my strength, my body. I look amazing. I look like someone that's probably been taking PEDs, and I'm 100% natural. And where do you think that came from? That came from me retaining my seed. That came from me keeping my testosterone. That came up from me rebuilding my stores over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm telling you guys out there who are not doing this or not taking advantage of this, you're missing out on something so special that you might not get another chance to get the motivation to try. Most of you guys out there think it's cool to be a fool. Most of you guys out there are in these relationships just a wasting away. You're out here just giving your energy away completely free, bro. Okay. Not understanding that energy is just not going to come back. You're going to have to recreate that energy with proper rest, with strain on your nervous system, okay, and a heavy, probably protein diet, all right? All things that which are going to work against you in the end as far as health is concerned. You're further and further putting yourself in a hole by not understanding and taking this practice seriously. It's a reason why they've been practicing this since the beginning of time, you guys, okay? This is not a placebo practice. This is a real deal hidden practice, okay? This is how you unlock the most powerful gifts that we are allowed to have down here in humanity, okay? This is how you tap into the cosmos. This is how you tap into the universe. This is how you tap in home with the Most High. This is how you become that person. This is how you become that leader. This is why you stand out, and this is why they start watching you. Because you must understand the Christ was probably one of the most handsome men that ever walked this planet. And the reason why he had all these gifts and these abilities is because you got to think about how he conducted his life. He didn't eat garbage. He didn't eat animals. He wasn't out here wasting his energy. As a matter of fact, he was meditating and fasting and retaining his mana and raising his Kundalini until it broke through and it entered his brain and unlocked all of those dormant gifts in his head, which is called Christ consciousness. He unlocked the game for us. He showed us how to escape this matrix. He showed us how to persevere in life. And we have the information and we have the knowledge, but yet there's only 1% people in this whole world who are being able to even hear this practice. And it's probably even smaller number than that, than actually people who are actually truly practicing it. And there's even smaller number of people out there who unlock Christ consciousness. And this is how you see the difference between the real and the fake. You can know just by looking, just by hearing and watching someone speak who's really carrying the Ojas. I told you this cannot be faked. And this is something that I want you guys to experience, because I tell you, there is nothing realer than this. You live in a moment at all times. There is nothing that you cannot do. Okay. You cannot be shaken. You have reached the highest heights. You are in the holy land, bro. You have raised your mana to heaven. You have unlocked all the highest points, all the highest achievements in the game. It is game over. And this is why you are now carving a path. You are now inspiring the next generation. You are now inspiring everybody else to achieve something as marvelous as this. Because once you do this, I promise you, you guys, you will never go back. You will never go back to that old person. Why? Because you have unlocked all of your superpowers. You are now the man of steel. And I literally mean that literally and physically, because I told you, you become the man of steel. She won't know what to do with a retainer. You're going to be able to go all night. You're going to be able to go all night. You don't believe me? check my receipts. You're going to be able to go all night. Okay. And it's only up until then that you start not taking in consideration on what it is that you're doing with this life force energy, that you will go backwards down that ladder and you will lose all your glow and you will lose all your superpowers, because this is how it is kept and this is how it's maintained and this is how it's generated. This is why it's so important for you to take this journey seriously. Okay. Because you guys got to understand, this is literally your power and you have the ability to control it. So if you're one of these people out here and you wonder why you're envious, you wonder why you're jealous of the next man, you wonder why you can't give somebody props that has actually done something that is probably the most difficult thing to do here on this humanly realm, and yet you want to envy somebody because you can't do and you can't muster up the strength for what it is that that person did. That should just be a nasty reflection in the mirror of yourself and what it is that you need to work on. I'm here to inspire people. I'm here to show people that this is possible. And I want everybody out there in this time, especially that we're living, where they're promoting this all over the internet. They're doing that for a reason. They're lowering our value as people. They're pouring out the disrespect on our secret, okay, powerful energy, life creating porthole, what we call the womb. They are lowering the value of what got us all here. And it's given us the power to be able to do what it is that we want to do in this world today. And instead, we've lowered ourselves by feeding the garbage, all right, by keeping up the trends instead of breaking the mold. And I told you guys, I'm the generational curse breaker. I am here to wake you up. I'm here to show you that you can really achieve anything you want in this life. You can really live in the moment, bro. You have no idea what this is like to be me. I really live in the moment, bro. And this is why I single day with my last breath trying to tell you guys to do this before your time is up. Okay? Before your time expires. This is something that you're going to have to do. This is something that you're going to have to face, all of you, or you're going to have done yourself a disservice down here. This is the number one thing that a man was meant to do. This is how you're going to find out who you are, who you're meant to be, all your special gifts, all your special talents. This is where all your creative energy comes from. And without this energy, creating, building up, all right, and circulating and continuing that function of, regeneration. If you don't experience that in life, then you would have done yourself a disservice, because you are never the man that you were supposed to be. Okay. And this is why I tell you there is a clear difference between a man who is truly on retention and a man that isn't. Semen retention equals supermen. And this is why we are so different. This is why we have the power. We have the power to help others. We have the power to help other people unlock their mind. This is a special gift. I don't have to touch you. I don't have to know you. All you have to do is hear me or see me, and it resonates. And this is what I'm telling you, the superpowers that make us supermen on semen retention. So give me one more second, guys. I'm going to play this last video for you guys. I want you guys to check this out.
The conclusion that there's a reason. Wow, those are some great correlations that I cannot unsee now. And as always, peace. The entire story of Jesus Christ and all the stories in the Bible are stories telling you how to resurrect your Kundalini energy. The two Kundalini serpents and Jesus represent you. The 33 years of Jesus Christ's life on earth represent the 33 vertebrae in the human body. The resurrection story is the story of the sacred secretion traveling down, then being buried for 3 days and being resurrected back up into the heavens, into your cerebellum. And this is the story of the Garden of Eden, the crucifixion, the resurrection story. You have 33 vertebrae. Jesus died at 33. Jacob's ladder is another version of the sacred secretion, the stairway to heaven. If you are eating an electrical alkaline diet and you're vibrating at the proper frequency, your brain will start to secrete juice that will travel all the way down each level of your vertebrae into the sacrum. And if saved and not squandered by drinking or self-pleasure or any sort of sexual intercourse, the way that you raise the sacred secretion is by vibrating at the proper frequency, meditation, magnetism, and nasal breathing. This will cause and pull the sacred secretion back up your spine into the cerebral cortex. This causes a chemical reaction, pushing the pituitary gland north, causing it to swell like the hood of the cobra. There are two ventricles in the brain behind the pituitary gland that, when activated during this Kundalini activation process, resemble a snake's tongue. So it swells like the hood of a cobra, and then you have the flickering like a snake's tongue. And that is why they use the snake in all their symbolism in the ancient Egyptian culture. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, go ahead.
So there it is again. You guys just heard the cold, hard truth, the cold, hard facts. This is why they've taken these books. This is why they have created a character. So you will identify outside of yourself and not understanding that we all have the same hardware inside of our bodies. We all have this temple of God. And what he explained is the Kundalini serpent energy, okay, creating this path, making its way up the spine, okay, and into the pineal gland, where he said it turns into a hood of a cobra. And that's where you get Christ. That's where you get Christ hung on the cross. Okay. This is things that they will never, ever tell you. Okay. These are the hidden things that they've been keeping away from us since the beginning of time. And this is why most people, because of the brainwashing, because of the programming, will never get to a level of a shaved Lion King. They'll never get to a level of retainers out there who have gone over a year or even 90 days in most cases, because most cases, 99% of the world haven't even hit 90 days. So they don't know what it's like to self-regenerate. But what you're hearing on how we are supermen. And once we figure out this technology that's been hidden dormant inside of every single one of our bodies, and the way that they've been suppressing this energy was through the promotion of all this sexual imagery that kept us in lust in our lower red chakra. And then they're feeding us with all the garbage foods like the meats and the fast foods and the processed foods, which is low frequency, because I told you the colors that they use symbolizes the frequency of the food that you're consuming. And most of the food that we're consuming, we're eating from red and yellow places. Go look for yourself. McDonald's, Taco Bell, I can name every single burger place that is using these colors. And this is exactly where the energy is attacked on. This is where your frequency is being attacked at. And because of this, okay, you're now having a hard time of creating that process of raising the manna to heaven. This is why it's so difficult, okay? Because the food also lowers your ambitions, and it makes it you easily susceptible to these thoughts that now are coming into your head. Because now you got to understand, you've done blocked the connection between you and the Most High, okay? And now you are hearing all the voices, okay? You're hearing all the things in your head. You're having a NPD episode, okay? This is what goes on, okay, when we have lost our way, when we have not figured out how to correct all the things that has been happening down here to us, okay? This is what's the problem. So I want you guys to understand, man, you have a lot to be focusing on. You have a lot to understand before you become a true master at this journey. Okay. This takes a long time to figure out. Not only that, this isn't stuff that you're just going to have to hear and listen. You're going to have to put this stuff into practice. Okay. And this is why it's important that you should be on your semen retention journey every single day, because every single step counts. Okay. Every single movement forward and progress that you make forward counts. Okay. And it's going to end up helping you later on in your journey. So give me a second, guys. I'll play a couple more videos here.
TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. It's been 10 months now on the seed retention journey. Let me tell you what's going to happen to you when you go 10 months and on. If you have a job, and at that job, you had someone that never talked to you or ever wanted to talk to you, when you go 10 months and on, eventually that person is going to end up talking to you. I remember mentioning in my previous video about me working at a place that is female dominant. They be hating on my energy and shit. But now, all of a sudden, especially going on long streaks, you just come out of nowhere and just talking to you and shit. On long streaks, your aura becomes so strong and so bright, eventually their demons will end up fleeing somehow, some way, maybe temporarily. But the willpower you start to build on seed retention is hyphen, it's crazy. If you barely go to the gym, but you still have some mass on, that shit is not going to lead, that shit going to stay. You are walking.
So there it is. You heard another video here, and I want to speak on what he said real quick, because I find it very true what he said. Now, he said that even when you're on semen retention, you're going to have the female energy, okay, that is going to become jealous. And, you know, for a long time there, man, I didn't think that that was true. Okay. I really didn't think that that's true, but you got to understand why it is true. Okay. See, women today in society are not used to seeing a true masculine, confident man. They're not used to seeing a guy who won't play any games with them. Okay. A guy that knows what he's bringing, a guy that is truly confident, a guy that is intelligent, a guy that is emotionally intelligent. Okay. A guy that can literally be with any woman he wanted to be with. And I want you to understand this. See, we get it misconstrued out here and thinking that, you know, that men don't choose the women that they're with. Yes, this is the way it works. Okay. Women are not approaching the men. It's the men who are approaching the women that they want. Okay. So you got to understand that happens there. Okay. But see, what ends up happening is the women today, they don't expect that. Okay. And they definitely don't know how to act when they see a guy like that. Okay. They end up thinking that you're cocky and you're arrogant. Okay. And they end up almost looking at you as like a competition, because what's going to happen in most cases from a retainer, like I said, this is how I know Christ was a good looking man. You're going to become a good looking man. You're going to become somebody who's irresistible. You have all of the attributes. Why? Because you've checked all the boxes that the Most High naturally put inside every single man. Every single man is supposed to have this type of, upgrade. But see, the problem is we've been tricked out of our position. I told you guys that. And this is why you get the jealousy on both sides. You get the women who don't understand it because they can't control it. And then you get the other guys who are just flat out jealous because they've already hit that hump. They're at the point of no return. They've lost their whole hairline. Maybe they're completely bald. Okay. Maybe they're just one of those guys that just don't have any motivation. But here's the thing that I want you haters to even know, because I still got love for you haters. Okay. I'm up here in the Christ consciousness. I'm not worried about any of you guys. I'm not losing sleep over any of you guys. I'm actually trying to pray for you and help you guys out, because I know you guys just a bunch of empty ball coomers who don't know any better. All right. And you're following people who are under bad leadership. You need to be following somebody who's in the Christ consciousness, and you found the right community. Okay. You guys are the guys I'm talking to. You guys out there need to retain your seed. Just because you got a wife doesn't mean you can't get your life together. You would probably even find that you probably not even attractive to that person anymore that you used to be once you've came back to who it is that you're truly supposed to be. Okay. You'd be surprised on how your life can turn around in an instant when you just go on this journey of raising your mana. Okay. Because I told you, it's going to turn you into a completely different person. All right. The people around you are not going to recognize you. Okay. You become the solid rock. Wherever you go, people are going to gravitate to you. Okay. You become the pulse, you become the light. All right. And you either help or you either break. But in most cases, you're going to help people because you're high vibrational. And these are the type of people that we need in society. And you think about it. If there's statistically only 1% of the people in this world, and I just told you, it's even less of a percentage of people that are doing it for 90 days. And then it's even a lesser percentage of people who are truly up on God mode. We're talking about, maybe, I can give you a number, maybe a couple thousand people around the world that are on this God mode level, okay, that are holding this Christ consciousness. Okay. It says that we are spread all over the world. Okay. And this is the truth. And just to think, when we collectively, okay, get everybody on the same frequency, okay, the outcome that we're going to have on this world. I want you to think of a movie for a reference. I want you guys to remember the movie Avatar. I want you to remember the point where all of them came together and brought somebody back from the dead. Okay. I want you to think about the power in numbers. This is our abilities that we have when our frequency is high and our frequency is right. Okay. When we're all vibrating on the same level, I'm telling you, we can do some miraculous. We can change the weather. You guys think this is a joke, and I'm sad that you think this is a joke. Okay. It's not. And it's going to happen, and whether you do it or not, okay, because change is coming. There's a reset coming. So you either get in line or you don't. And this is why I'm passionately here giving you this information week in and week out, because I honestly, truly want you to make it. Okay, you guys, it's time for us to evolve. Okay, if you don't, you're going to get left behind. All right. And this is why we are doing the things that we're doing. All right. So I'm going to play this one on the last video, and then we're going to wrap it up. Give me 1 second here.
Semen retention and the effect it has on your spiritual work. Oh my God. Holding your seed, holding your sexual energy, male or female, will boost anything that you're doing in your life. Literally. I did a spell in order to block something and regain my energy. And when I did the spell, when I physically did the work, I instantly felt my energy come rushing back. And I'm in awe. I'm in awe. Because, why do people not really know these things? Why do people don't take their sexual energy serious? Because it is one of the most popular things in ancient times to do in order to get closer to the universe, to God. Whoever you deem to be that almighty spirit energy, you get closer to whatever that is. And guess what? When you get closer, you get more powerful. You gain more energy to do what you need to do. Your will becomes stronger. Your intention becomes stronger.
And that's the point I want to hit on to make the main point here. Your intention becomes stronger. This is what I want you to understand. This is the power of our sexual energy as men. Okay. This is the pinnacle of our sexual energy. This is the power that you're misusing. This is what your daddy should have taught you. Okay. But unfortunately, he was brainwashed just like everybody else. Everybody's daddy I know was brainwashed. Okay. I'm the only daddy I know really telling some people some real. All right. I know there's others out there, but I'm just keeping it real. Okay. And I'm not trying to bring nobody down. I'm just keeping it real. All right. I'm going to be able to tell my children this. All right. I'm breaking the generational curses. All right. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. okay? Because you guys must understand, we've been misusing our sexual energy since the beginning of time, all right? We have the ability to be with a significant other and create a wonderful masterpiece, okay? I'm talking about one of the best worlds that you could ever put together when you come together, when you fusion, when you come together with the person that you're supposed to be with, and you guys are on the same frequency, and you have an intention when you go up in her and give her that energy, okay? She is going to reciprocate that energy, and now you two have created a torus field of energy, all right? You have become one, all right? And now whatever it is that you two have on your mind, you're going to bring that to existence. Okay. This is the way the Most High Creator wanted us to manifest. Okay. But said what most of you guys are doing, you're just getting together and thumping. I told you guys, it's useless breeding. You're just getting together and thumping. You're getting together, using the alcohol, using the drugs. Okay. Lowering your vibration, lowering your spirit, letting these demonic entities get a hold of you, and you're abusing and you're misusing the most vital tool that our Creator gave us, okay, to manifest. You have no idea how powerful you are as people. You've been lied to, okay? You guys must understand, man. There is power in retention and celibacy. There is power into coming in union with the person that you're supposed to be with, all right? I want you guys to understand, I'm not playing no games up here. I'm telling you the truth, all right? It's 2025. We are no longer going to be degenerates, all right? We have the truth. We have the knowledge. We just got to start applying these things to our lives and watch how greatly we change. Watch how greatly we improve in the things that we're trying to do in life. And this is the whole key in a society where they're trying to bring us down. They're trying to divide us with colors. They're trying to bring us down with money and jobs. They're doing all these different things to keep you further distracted from the truth. And the truth is, you have the power that's in you this whole time. You don't need nothing else. I promise you, you can bring everything else to you with your gifts. This is how you unlock your gifts, people. This is how you unlock your spiritual powers. This is how you become Superman. I told you, some of you guys are going to be able to lift up cars. Some of you guys are going to be able to create the most craziest equations. Some of you guys are going to create the most craziest inventions. Some of you guys are going to be able to read minds. Some of you guys are going to be able to talk telepathically. This is all within our DNA. But the DNA has been suppressed, I told you, by the food, by the lowering of your sexual energy, by all these syringes that they've been giving us. Okay? All these different things that you inject inside of your body, okay, has been a weapon used against you to destroy your DNA. Okay. And when you destroy your DNA, you're not able to unlock your gifts. Okay. This is why most of us, I told you, a lot of us down here are walking around empty vessels, NPCs. The soul doesn't inject it out of your body because your soul knew that you were never going to get it. The rest of you out there who have an ear to hear, you need to understand on what I'm telling you and how serious this is. And the way that you should be going at this is completely 100% focus with no distractions. All right. And you're going to see what the best that your DNA has to offer, what the best of your ancestry has to offer. It's going to come to you first. You're going to be the generational curse breaker. That means you're going to get all of the benefits from the universe. You're going to get all of the gifts of the family. This is what you have on the line. Okay. And you want to continue to waste time on pornographic material that's not even real. You don't even have anything tangible. You're not even feeling a real woman and trying to create a life or build a home or come together and manifest. You're out here uselessly cutting your wrist, bleeding out, and wasting your seed. And this is when I want you guys to wake up for. Okay, I really want you guys to be smart in the rest of 2025. Understand what we got on the line. You're trying to become a Superman, okay? We're no longer Batman, bro. We're no longer someone that's got to use money, okay? Use stimulants, okay? Trying to be a god, okay? We are gods, okay? We are born and created in the image of the Most High. We are gods. and it's time for you guys to start acting like one. So I appreciate everybody that came up in here. Your boy's about to dip. I'm going to play one more video on the outro. And again, I thank everybody that came up in here. You guys have a good rest of the night, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys, man. Peace.
I no longer have to put on a mask. Semen retention gives you that internal confidence, right? That internal confidence that nobody else can reciprocate. Each person that goes on semen retention unlocks their special gifts, right? Their innate gifts that nobody else in the world has. Right? I look at retaining as if it's a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. If you want to get on top and ahead of every single man or most in your environment, bro, hop on semen retention. Semen retention will change your life. Hair starts to grow quicker, your beard starts to grow quicker, your voice gets deeper, your muscles get bigger, you know? Like, I haven't ate all day. You no longer feel need to excessively snack or eat 3 meals a day. No. You need to remain celibate until you have a grip of life, until you're able to know what your purpose is. Semen retention will naturally give you that. The brain fluid, the semen retention fluid, it begins to go to your brain and you begin to think like this. Your neurons in your brain begin to fire and wire like never before, especially if you're not eating sugar and not eating fast food and you're eating pure healthy foods, bro.
You are now listening to TSLK Radio. You are now listening to B-Town Beats.
You are now listening to TSLK.
When you give a damn, you hold your farts in, man.